I have an article here from CBR.com. It's up on archive because CBR sucks. WGA strike is a fight against everything fandoms claim to hate. Some local fandoms aren't supporting the writer's strike, which is baffling because the writers are fighting against everything fans claim to hate. Everything they talk about, faced with a choice between David Zaslav and the DC Universe, what fan would side with the guy who paid himself nearly 3 times the budget of the canceled Batgirl? And here's the problem: is CEO pay being disproportionate to the pay of other people, to the employees and stuff. That's almost a separate topic because everything we've heard about this Batgirl movie was that it was terrible. I haven't seen it, so I can't say one way or the other. But I mean, a lot of the stuff you hear is bad. It was bad. Anyway, they talk about, unfortunately, thanks to how profitable outrage is on YouTube and social media, some are doing just that. Because everything from Star Wars to genre TV staples like The Flash and the CW prompt familiar cries from these disaffected viewers as bad writing. Thus, with writers asking for fair pay, better job security, and other fundamental worker rights, the bad writing course is on the side of the studios. I'm more on the side of the writers myself, just because it's really hard. I can't side with businesses, these big powerful corporations. It's like I prefer to side with people over businesses because businesses are just out there. Now at least they're just in it for the money. That's all. Whereas with people, they can fool you. Sometimes they'll basically, sometimes they'll fool you into thinking that they want one thing when they actually want the other. But generally I go with people and stuff. Anyway, let's talk about Warner Brothers Discovery's idea to reboot Harry Potter as a TV series. Seems like a cash grab. Blah blah blah. And of course, they got to have their transphobic creator J.K. Rowling and everything. That's almost a separate video. I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, the show is still in production during the WGA strike. These studios aren't concerned about keeping writers involved. The writers are meant to do a couple of script drafts, turn them in, and be cut loose. Shows like The Flash, which is still filming when its final season debuts, also suffer from the needs of the business. Shows like Star Trek Voyager or Enterprise will only have a few weeks lead time between episode production and airing. As it stands now, sometimes the only WGA member on the staff is a showrunner or executive producers. They try to rewrite scenes or episodes while still working on pre- and post-production. Employing more writers or giving them more time will only ensure fandom gets the level of quality storytelling they want. Now, see, I agree with that, although it is CBR, so it's like they don't have... The reason that nobody gives a shit generally about CBR is because they don't have any credibility, because they've given it all away. Most mainstream places have no credibility. Like, all this stuff is true. Like, I want there to be plenty of time to turn in the best scripts for these shows. I want there to be people to have their job security, not to worry about AI taking their stuff and everything. This is what they're talking about here. The studios would let AI cobble together nonsense and serve it up to fans because for them the bottom line is profit. Sounds like places, I could mention BuzzFeed, maybe even HuffPost, stuff like that. But anyway, whatever. It's neither here nor there, I suppose. One of the most contentious proposals from the WGA is that shows will be required to hire a set number of writers, even if the showrunner wants to write all scripts himself. They talk about Aaron Sorkin used to do that on The West Wing. It would help avoid burnout, repetition, and make for better stories. I don't know about the burnout and the repetition and stuff. Better stories, maybe. I would hope so, but that's not going to work if you mandate that you have to hire so many people of color, so many women, so much this and that. So I want to hire people who are actually interested in the show. If it turns out that your writing staff is all black women, as long as they're hired on quality, I don't care. Just the same as if they were all white men, but they were hired on quality, I don't care. That's fine. I want the most qualified, the best writers there. That's what I imagine. I don't claim to speak for anybody else, but I imagine that's how most people are. They don't care about, your appearance. They don't judge you based on your look. They base you on the content of your character. If you're a good writer, I want you. If you're not, I don't want you. I don't care if you look like me. I don't care if you don't look like me. Are you good at what you do? Are you qualified? Because if so, come on, get on board. Let's go. But anyway, this is just one of those things where it's like CBR is making some valid points, but considering how in the tank they've been for some of these things, it really makes you question that are they actually writing this because they care about the writers, or are they doing this because they just want to try to stick it to these fandoms? Because the fandoms, quote unquote, are these, these ists and these phobes and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I'll link this in the description box if you want to read the whole thing for yourself. I basically covered pretty much everything. But anyway, again, I'm generally on the side of people, on the writers, and so, or could, even in the cases like actors or whatever. I'm generally on the side of the people compared to businesses. But I mean, just as a general rule. Anyway, make your own mind up and stuff. Let me know what you think and everything. All that. Of course, I'd love to hear it. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good